Well, I was urged to make this movie. I just posted a movie called The Greatest Story Ever Told, Christianity Part 3 of 3. It was the last one of the 3 parts. Um, I felt sad, I had took me a while to decide whether to post it in my website, but I felt I needed to. One of the reasons being that I've always sort of felt that this channel of mine is quite sacred, really. Represents me a lot in every form, in some ways. But there was a chill, a great cold came over me when I had to make that decision to think that to put Christianity in the context that I believe. I do believe that probably Jesus did exist, and the Romans probably did kill him, but I don't think he saw himself as a Messiah. Uh, but just as an ordinary man that everybody that surrounded him admired and had great respect for. Uh, but what this is all about is that it's the power that ruled at that time. The Romans. My grandparents and my parents, they were very strict and religious Catholics, and but as I grew up, I just felt there was something terribly wrong because the sort of life and death they had, constantly believing in this religion that they installed upon me. By the way, I didn't create this movie. I should have said I posted it in my favorite. Um, but it just made me feel cold because I felt like, for years, working people and ordinary peasants needed something to hang on to. I think when Jesus came along, it's so lovely to see a wonderful mate and admire him and stand by his beliefs and his how genuine of a person he is. And now I felt like I took something quite sacred away from something like our family has leaned upon and believed in, needing to believe in something that was good. But now removing that good that we, or shall I say my parents and grandparents installed upon me, I feel that good has always been there, even me removing the sort of Christianity that was the whole concept of it that was educated to us. But I don't think it made me cold, but at the same time it changed me in a different way because I feel like this is why we cling on to this. In a time of need, we need to turn to someone for justice, to pray for justice, to pray for help. And I think this has always have been, man, has always turned at his very last need that he required some form of help. He's turned to something, his parents or whatever was available. It became so easy when religion was created for those who didn't have any parents that had something to turn to. But there again, it comes to what I'm trying to communicate about. If we could put aside religion and realize that we're all the same people that existed thousands of years ago, is to remove religion, and we got to learn to turn to each other. If we can't turn to each other, there is nothing, and I feel, I do always believe there is a creator, but I think the creator that I believe is in eventually when we're gone. Basically, there's the ultimate link to justice. But I'm talking while we're here, living on this planet, and I think the only creator that is here for us is ourselves. We got to be able to let go of this belief that we had. The reality is, I do believe that the Romans created Christianity to be able to control the working class people, or the peasants at that time. It is extremely logical that when one pop star die, another one is born. And this way it came to religion wise, they couldn't create another Jesus the second, but they probably thought, we make up a whole story of him, at least they still got something. We're never going to find another Jesus straight away to go through the whole scenario again, and we don't want another bloody Jesus anyway. We would have to crucify him again. But there again, we're back to the people that knew at that time the power of control, to think that these rulers at that time suddenly saw how powerful they were. They could take this so-called God, or they knew he wasn't a God. They knew that it was a remarkable person, that these people saw how genuine he was, and they couldn't convince the people that, they probably put out a lot of what would you call it, spiders on the net, to educate people that he was untrue, he was a liar, etc. But yet he created so much respect amongst the people who knew him and wouldn't sell him down the drain, that they couldn't destroy him. So, but one thing they've learned was how powerful they were when they could drag him out through the streets and crucify him. And they started to learn one thing: how weak the people were, and they needed something to cling on to. So I suppose they saw the opportunity to create Christianity, and not only something that they could turn to, they didn't have to crucify again and again and again. They could just create this religion and bury that so-called sacred guy forever, and keep multiplying these religions. When one stopped working, they just create another one linked to the original religion and say, oh yeah, Catholicism was not quite right, we create Protestant, and we create another one and another one and another one, and it will go on forever. But I felt that is the key of it, is what the Romans learned, the power that they had amongst themselves, the rulers that ruled that society at the time. And they built on that till today. And what we've got today is the same power ruling us, but with the tools that us, the ordinary working man, helped them create. And these very tools that they will use against us to keep us in check. Gone were the the Judases, the people that they could buy for the 40 pieces of silver. They still got a lot of those around, probably more than ever. But the main thing was these guards, that they had to employ and pay in silver and gold to keep an eye on the people. Now they don't. They get us to pay for it. We employ all these police, military, army, navy. We pay for them, but who is in charge of it all? It's the Romans. They are still in charge of it all. But the difference is we pay for it. And I think we really need to wake up and turn to each other and realize that we are the people that protect the Romans now. And the difference from those days to now, we, the army, are much, much more civilized and educated than we ever was. And we need to realize that the power is in our hands, even more so than ever. But they don't see it that way, because at the end of the day, it's them who hand out the paychecks. You see, to the police force and the army and the navy, but they collect the money from us. You see, and this is what we need to educate the people, that the money comes from us. All we've done is employed them to pay out the paychecks.